All right, in today's episode of Building a Farmhouse, we are going to be talking about doors and windows. Hey there, my name is Yami. I am your Latina next door. Welcome back to Mi Casa. I have my husband here, Nelson, also known as the Latino engineer, with me, and we're going to be going over the windows and door process for our house. Let's see. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
As far as windows and doors, though,
Mhm.
like the windows were the easiest, I think, because we picked them, we ordered them, they arrived, they got installed. We decided to go with what's it called? The no pane windows. We didn't want anything to obstruct the view of our lovely lot here. We thought we just didn't need any extra grids or anything like that. So they're nice and clear. And we did go with white windows, even though everybody's probably doing black windows. But the reason we did white windows was because we looked at the price difference and we were like, nope, black windows are not necessary.
And lead time. So anytime you go
Yes.
beyond anything that's slightly different than what they consider stock, even though these weren't stock because they still had lead times,
Right.
You just add like an additional 4 to 6 weeks on top of stuff. And, obviously we ran into issues with lead times on the framing. So we're like, we're not going to make it any more complicated.
So we just kept it simple. We got white windows.
And we did the KISS method. Unfortunately, it works.
Yeah, so we just went with simple white window. That is a horsefly.
Thing's huge.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that thing is... I think it flew away. Okay, so we got white windows. They were ordered and they actually came in on time, honestly. Now, there was a couple things that we needed to order that were a little bit more custom. One of them being what's right behind the camera and why my hair has been blowing every once in a while. And it's because we wanted these large sliding glass doors from our living room looking out to the backyard because we have a beautiful view back there. And we really wanted to just be able to like enjoy that every single day. So that was a pretty big custom piece.
Yeah, it's 12 foot wide by 8 foot tall. So it's a pretty big door that faces our back porch.
But we're so glad we went with it. Now, it might be just, a simple sliding door to most people, but to me, it just brings me so much joy getting all this natural light and getting to enjoy my view to the backyard every single day. So that was one thing that we ordered custom for the space. And we kind of diverted a little bit from what the actual plans were based on budget and time and what we could do. So that was one thing that was pretty custom. As far as the rest of the doors, the front door, that one gave us a little bit of trouble because I was looking for something very specific. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, how do you say, settle for something that I didn't want. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I really wanted a front door that gave a statement, right? I've never had a double door and I definitely knew I wanted a double door entrance. And I wanted something with a lot of glass. And so I shared the design that I wanted and we couldn't do it in wood. Or we could do it in wood. And it was just way out of our budget. That's what it was.
Yeah, it doubled in price. So
and we just couldn't. We couldn't do it. We couldn't do it.
And unfortunately, when things like that, when you get custom built products, yes, we can do it. It's going to cost you like X amount of money. And we're like, wow. The front door itself would have been the budget for all the doors. And we're like, well, we can't do that.
That's not going to work. So we ended up kind of looking through a lot of different options and what we could do. And what wasn't available was the type of door with the amount of panes that I wanted. So then we had to, just keep trying to figure out how I can get the look that I wanted and not break the bank. So we ended up with a fiberglass front door that had wood grain in it. So if I wanted to paint it, I can paint it. And if I wanted to gel stain it to make it look like wood, I can do that as well. And that was our compromise. That's going to be a pretty big DIY project that I'm going to have to take on once everything is said and done. But I think after, seeing it come together, I think we're pretty happy with how it's going to end up. Now, we had a lot of trouble with the delivery of the door because the main doors actually were two doors, but then there's also a couple of side lights and a huge transom that goes across the top of it. And the only thing that was delivered was the middle doors with the transom above it. We didn't get the side lights with the side transoms. And unfortunately, when we did get those several weeks later, they were all wrong. They did not line up whatsoever. So they had to pick them up, they had to readjust them, and then they had to deliver them back. But when they delivered them, they looked like they had been like through the ringer. Like we don't know what the heck they were doing to those four doors. They got beat up and there was damage in several areas. So then they had to send somebody out here to retouch the entire door and make all the final adjustments before we were happy with it. So unfortunately, it wasn't the easiest process for the front door, but in the end, now that we see it up, now that we see the potential and what I plan on doing in order to really give it a nice, impression when you walk up on it, I think we're really happy and I think it's going to work for us for a really long time. Then there was the subject of the side entrance doors, correct, babe?
Mhm.
Go
Yes,
ahead.
we have a side entrance that's in the laundry, which will be like the mud room,
Mhm,
laundry mud room. We have the side entry from the back porch to the home,
mhm.
which is kind of next to, or I guess at a 90-degree angle from the big glass window door, sliding door. And we added an additional door that go from the garage to the back porch or the back yard because the way the plans had it, they had like a garage door. And like, well, we don't want a third garage door. Let's just do double doors. So we kind of changed the plans there to, just do more of a simple door, double door there.
And so we were able to get these ones in wood. Luckily, these ones were within the budget.
Because they were more of a standard size. So,
Yeah.
like, that it's more of a simple
Mhm.
opening. So the doors were what they were.
Mhm. So we were able to get those in wood, and I was able to get them exactly how I wanted. So I was very happy about that.
The
But
only
we did it.
adjustment we did have to do for these doors, since they were wood and they're 8 foot tall, is normally when you close a door, you have the latching system kind of towards the bottom middle.
At the
So
handle.
right at the handle. So when you have a wood, wood can bend and warp due to the temperature difference. Where it's hot, it expands. Cold, it compresses. So we had to buy a special latching system, which not only does it latch at the middle where you have the handle, but you have latch at the top and a latch at the bottom. So you have 3 points of contact when it closes, 3 points of contact where it locks. So that way the door, tends to stay in its shape instead of warping because otherwise you only have one pressure point. Now you have three: top, middle, and bottom.
And that was an investment. That was it was a little expensive to get that, but we figured with these wood doors, we wanted them to last as long as possible, and we thought this was like the best thing for them as in regards to making sure that they didn't warp like he said and stayed as good of a condition as possible during their lifetime. So that was basically it for windows and doors, right, babe?
Yeah, yeah, it was uneventful, other than the front door. But that was, whenever you move stuff, you got transportation and those things go in box trucks and people that they just load them. So like you get a lot of damage, but you know they came out, they fixed it, they puttied anything that they had to. Obviously, we still have to like go back and do painting to go over everything, but they prime painted everything, and in spite of everything, the doors actually look good now.
So I guess it's on to the B-roll. So, really quick, before I share the B roll footage for the windows and doors, I did want to share the finished product of the roof line and all the trusses since the last episode. This that you see right here is the final roof line for the entire house. Apparently, I had this in a folder and I did not see it, but as you can see here, everything is completed, and I didn't get to go over all of the sheathing that had to be put on the exterior of the house. As you can see here, here is some of the installation of that sheathing over the porch areas. We had to get everything covered before we had started on the windows and doors. So I just want to share a little bit about that here, and then we'll go into the windows and doors.
Here's Johnny.
So that's what he called a window, but I call a door.
Yeah, I mean, look how big it is.
So yeah, that's what opens up to all of this. All right, so that's it for today's episode of our farmhouse build. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let us know what you guys think about the windows and doors that we installed and we picked, and what the plans, what I have planned for. Let me know your thoughts on that, and we will see you guys back here very soon. Until then,
Go dogs.
adios.